The housing assembly consists of both halves of the plastic housings, the motor insulators, and the housing screws. Most problems with the housing assembly are the result of accidental damage, such as dropping the tool or something falling on it. The rear armature bearing is supported by the housing. A seized bearing can cause the housing to melt around the bearing. Replacing the housing assembly is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how.
Hi, I'm Mark Socha.
Do-it-yourself repairs like these are easier than you might think. From lawn machines to cordless drills, kitchen mixers,
Outdoor grills.
our how-to videos walk you through each repair from start to finish. So doing it yourself means never having to do it alone.
Let's get started.
I'll begin by removing one half of the housing. For the two screws where the battery attaches, you'll need to use a security Torx driver. That's a regular Torx driver, but it has a hole in the center. Now carefully remove all the inner parts from the other side of the housing. As I remove the battery terminal, I'll be careful to not lose the spring. Now I can begin installing the new housing. I'll split the housing apart and install the new motor insulators that came in the kit. The insulators fit into these slots here on both sides. Now I'll transfer the belt hook from the old housing to the new. And on the other housing, the bit clip. The housing kit came with new screws to hold the two halves of the housing together. You may have noticed when I disassembled the tool, I left the screws in the opening that they came out of. There are 3 different lengths of screws used in the tool. By leaving the screws in the housing, I can compare the screws so I'm sure I used the right length. I'll remove each screw and measure it against the screws that came in the kit. Just in case you dumped out all the screws when you took yours apart, the medium-sized screw goes here. All of these are the short screws, and the 2 longest screws go down by the battery. Now I can install the inner parts of the tool back into the housing. I'll start with the LED light and the grounding wire. As I do this, I'll tuck the wires back into the housing. This may seem tedious, but it's important to get all the wires out of the way, or it could lead to unintended consequences, such as a pinched wire. At the base of the tool, I'll be sure to slide the spring back in against the battery terminal. and the forward reverse selector on the switch. And I'll finish up by reinstalling the other half of the housing. And now you know how to replace the housing assembly on your power tool. Be sure to check back often for new videos and expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up
And leave a comment.